Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we tune into the airwaves to talk to another YouTuber about a cool adventure we're going to do together. Cue the intro.
For the last defender. And just...
As a result of the outbreak, your city or entire region may be endangered by a lethal agent. If conditions at your location make this a possibility, you need to consider staying in place until the threat has subsided or blown over.
Meanwhile, let's get...
So, I think we're on. I think I've done it. I've fiddled with the aerial. And Fen Tour, are you there?
I'm here. How are you doing?
There we go. That took me some time. So, we've got some exciting stuff coming up. Some very exciting stuff. First of all, let's talk about what you've just bought. It's probably one of the nicest looking electric bikes on the market. So let's talk about that. You've just got it. What's your first thoughts on that bike?
Well, it's growing on me. That's the thing. I'm really getting quite addicted to it. It's it actually looks good, doesn't it, for an electric bike? Most of them look a bit, well, like a bike with a battery in, which is what it is.
Yeah, it's a big battery.
But even the sound is quite. It makes this weird tube train sound.
Do you not think it's like, for me, my zero experience, it's all I've had up to now, but I am Tron. That's how I look at it. It's like, I am Tron, and I ride it, and it's got, they say that, like, whoop, and everyone moans about that, well, it's, you know, you miss the sound of an engine, but it's like, no, you don't get it. This is a whole new thing. And it makes you, the adrenaline you get from it is like, it's just unreal. It's just like you're shocked by it.
If you accelerate slowly, a bit like a petrol bike, you know, you accelerate slowly, you know, in a petrol bike, you just get warped, and then you open it up fully. It's quite a different, it's the same with the Energica. So, obviously, we should tell people it's a Energica Rebelle, made in Italy. Rebelli.
Can we call it a Rebel so it sounds more cool?
Well, it probably is Rebel in Italian. I have no idea. But yeah, when you actually give it more power, it makes a louder sound. But it's not coming out of a speaker or something like some BMW cars do. It actually is coming from the gearbox. It has a gearbox. It has a gearbox. You can't change gear. It's a one-speed gear, but it's got a reduction gear drive from the electric motor to the output to the chain. And that's what makes the sound. And it's got to have an oil change on its first service next week.
So hang on, let's go. So we both drive electric cars. The whole point is you don't have to do all of that. So you have to have an oil change on an electric bike.
Yeah.
Is that the gears?
The gearbox has to have an oil change at the first 600 miles, and then every 6,000 miles, the gearbox oil's changed.
Wow. So is that quite expensive to get done?
I shall tell you next week. Surprise. This is where I find out it's really expensive.
So it's an Italian bike.
Made in Modena.
It's made where?
Modena.
In Modena?
Same place as Ferrari.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
How much did you pay for it? Or is that a trade secret?
A lot of money. It's 24,000.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, but then again, compared to the live wire, that's not a bad price. Not a bad, especially if the specs are pretty much the same.
Live wire. Well, the interesting thing, a live wire and the Energica, the only bikes that offer CCS. For those listening that have no idea what I mean, it means it can charge really, really quickly. Where most other electric bikes only have AC charging, which means they can charge really, really slowly.
Like my car.
Of course, yours is only AC, isn't it?
Yeah, I did the one thing when I bought my car, and I wanted an electric car, and I went into loads of stuff. And this is a bike channel, so I won't talk too much about electric cars. But when I did, I picked mine because it ticked the most boxes for the most, like the least amount of money, if that makes sense. It gave me the better range. You get cheaper, but for range and everything else. And I got the top of the range model of car as well. But they stopped making what they were, I think it was called the QC. So that was the fast charging version of AC, I should say, where mine doesn't. But I don't really use public chargers because mine's more of a workhorse. So I won't talk about electric cars because it's not exciting. But your electric bike, so have you got any concerns that there's going to be a very short Italian man with a spanner who's been working on this for it to be delivered that is going to be reliable in the Italian sense?
Is it going to be an Alfa Romeo, you mean?
Pretty much.
I hope not. I mean, so far it's been pretty faultless, but then it's only 400 miles in, so I don't know. I just have to give it a go. It's a risk. It's only number 3 in Britain.
I was about to say that. I've not seen them. And until you said it to me, I've not even heard of them. So, yeah.
Well, there are a few other Energicas here, but this is the third, I believe, the third Energica Rebelle.
Wow.
In the UK so far. But there's more coming this month. So
the other two owned by the sales places have registered them, so they've got some sales.
Yeah.
Potentially be the first proper owner.
Yeah. Well, there are 2 other owners actually at the moment, and there will be 2 or 3 more owners within the next couple of months.
Oh, cool. Fantastic.
So there's quite a few on order and on the way. So yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I'm quite impressed because you can have all the fun of a petrol bike. In fact, more fun in some respects because the acceleration is stupid.
See,
it makes all my other bikes feel like slugs.
Yeah, I was going to say, what I found was when I was again, zero is my own experience, but I used to obviously do quite a bit of racing and stuff like that. And the one thing I say is I raced 1,000cc bikes, but my favourite was always the CB600R, like the RR on the race spec, and the acceleration would almost throw you back, and it made you almost dangerous because all you want to do is get your knee down. And the one thing about the acceleration that I found on the zero side of things was it was the same thing. It instantly made me go, I have to go fast because you get such a rush. And obviously getting older, I'm not as bothered about chucking my knee down or any of that stuff. That's all gone. But just acceleration, it's like, is anyone around? Let's go. And it's like, whoa. And you're beaming and you're going, I love this. And it's an adrenaline hit. It is literally, it does all the things all the stuff you did when you were younger on those sports bikes, it brings it all back. And it's just, it's until anyone who slags off electric, until you experience it, you don't get it. And that's kind of how I feel. Because you get a lot of people go, well, I'd never buy an electric because they're not good enough and they're not this. It's like, have you ridden one? No. There's your answer.
Exactly. Well, the same sort of, a high-end Ducati, or not even a high-end Ducati, a mid-range Ducati is a similar price. Just as beautiful to look at. The Ducati's going to have 200 horsepower. The electric bike's got 145. But the electric bike's got more torque. And it's instant. So for your average idiot like me, it's faster.
Yeah.
Be a complete loony sports bike rider who knows how to ride, not like me, then it's slow. So it depends on the sort of your average bod like me is going to be faster on an electric bike.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, but but someone who's committed an absolute loony on a sports bike, they're going to be disappointed, because once you get up to that 10,000 plus RPM on a 1 litre super bike, then they really do take off, don't they?
Yeah.
That's when I stop 10,000 RPM and change gear normally. If I was on one of those bikes.
They're quite going off again on rev side of things. The monkey bike hasn't got a rev counter on it, but since I pulled the race book on, I generally feel like I'm a proper race driver rider, and but you can't tell now. Where before I could tell where the limit was coming, because it's so loud, you can't tell. So I'm constantly redlining it. When you go, I'm changing it, and I'm doing like 35 miles an hour. But in my head, it's like I am doing.
You're like, okay, so fast. I think a little engine like that, you're never going to blow it up. It's always going to be absolute bulletproof.
Well, yeah, but the best bit of it is if it does blow up, they've used it in so many, it's like you can just get another one. And it's they're what, 3.8 new, but they don't make them. The biggest thing at the minute is this year, because of the Euro 5, there is no monkey. What's not
really?
Yeah, but they're saying 2022 they've got a Euro 5 version coming. That's how I understand it at the minute. I could be massively wrong, but from what I've seen and read, that's the case. So my monkey bike and yellow, it could end up being quite a rare bike, but they'll bring it back, so it won't be. But who knows? Yeah, so that'd be interesting. But the new version they're bringing out is like two-toned and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll get another monkey just to put that one in the Helmet Head Wall of Fame somewhere at some point once I've killed it, and see what I can do to the next version.
So if you were full time, in terms of if you didn't have to do a job like we both do, what would the garage have? And there was no money object. What would your garage have in it? What bikes would you have in your garage?
If I had the money,
monkey bike would stay there, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one, but I would. The Honda Vision is going to stay because it was bought and part of the channel. And to be honest, that probably, unless I come up with another event for that bike, that will become a prop in the future Helmet Head studio that is in the planning for the future. Cool. Because it was such a good part and good fun part of the channel. So obviously they'd have the Vision, and then the monkey bike would have to stay. When it comes down to Betty, she's still got a way to go until she becomes a keeper, even if it ends up being a prop, because I don't have to ride them all. But if money was no object, wow, I still haven't done the Harley Davidson thing, and that is something, an itch, like it's definitely, I'm going to have to itch, it's something I have to scratch. It's the Harley Davidson is an incredible bike, and I still think it's the same fashion thing. I mean, I've never owned one, but I still think they're quite agricultural to be able to ride, and I want to experience that. And I also want to put it through some interesting stuff as well. That's something potential in the future, but at the minute, I would buy myself a Triumph Bonneville Speedmaster, brand new. That's what I promised myself for a while. What's equivalent to the Harley in the style, so that'd probably be what I'd buy first. I would currently buy the Zero SRF because out of them all, that did it for me. That was, out of all the bikes I rode of theirs, that bike was the eye opener that made me go.
That's one with the fairing.
It's the one without.
Without the fairing. Okay, yeah.
Without the S. The interesting thing with the S is they're basically the same bikes, but I found the S felt a lot bigger, where the F, just because it was a Street Fighter style, probably like your bike, it felt smaller and easier. And it's just a matter of opinion, but yeah. So I'd have one of them. I'd have a Harley. I mean, to be honest, I'd have most bikes. I've never owned I've sold and bought to sell a Ducati, but I've never owned one, so I'd have to have a Ducati. I'd love the one that Carl Fogarty raced, but it's probably hardly any of them left. I'd go on and on and on. I want to probably give BMW another go. But what I'd like for the channel is more to be able to be given these bikes to try, and some of them give me the opportunity to do some big adventures on them as well.
I think too many channels. Not that I shouldn't complain at all, but there are many channels out there who the mainstay, and I understand why, is reviewing the latest, newest bike. And of course, you get, when I've reviewed some key bikes, they have a huge amount of hits and watchers and followers and whatever. Compared to the ones I enjoy doing the most, which are riding around with my mate David or out with Helmet Head for a laugh.
Yeah,
they don't get as many views. I don't care how many views they get, but they're the ones that are the most fun. And actually, having a fun bike or something that's different or a laugh is good. It's good, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think if very much with like my channel at least, I want to keep it a very diverse channel on the basis that I want to. So as you just said, the reviews get you the hits, what means more people get to see your content. But my finished videos, I mean, that pizza race that I've recently done, I could do a video like that every single weekend. That's what I'd be doing, because that is I'm in my element. I've planned it, I've thought it through on exactly how I want things to go. I don't know who's going to win. I even actually for that video made two. Oh, I made a video. My outro at the end was me going, I beat him. I had to come back from that race and generally go and refilm the last bit because I was so sure I was going to win.
You won.
Yeah. So those races, that and the adventures, that's what I love about this channel. That's it's cool. But the reviews and doing stuff is what gives it extra growth. And like I've said before, I've got big names I'm talking to, and hopefully we can start adding the reviews and the 2021s and maybe end up being 2022. But it will be very much reviews plus the usual stuff because it's got to be. You can't, if you just do one sort of content, people will get bored and it will become the same. So if you don't mix it up a bit, like have the sidekick, for instance, he's in some videos, but he's also not in others because it can't be Helmet Head and the sidekick every video. And it's a simple thing. But saying that as well, we've got at this point, what people, obviously we would have filmed it even by the time people have seen this, but tomorrow we're doing our first kind of meetup in a long time. And I get to see this amazing electric bike. And I get to say it's Italian and make sure all the nuts and bolts are screwed on properly.
Probably be falling apart by the time I get to you.
Break down. Give me a ring and go.
I tell you what, it's all bikes, modern bikes, they have lots of stuff on their digital displays, don't they? And normally they have the temperature outside.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, David takes the piss now because it's always 4 degrees over. Wherever we're going, it's 4 degrees more than this BMW. But it's Italian. It's always I'm in Italy. So it's at least 4 degrees out. And this is a bit worrying, isn't it? The speedo, I think, is a bit excited as well. I think that's about 3 or 4 miles an hour over.
Oh, over.
Yeah, most bikes are 3 or 4, 2 or 3 miles an hour over, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. The monkey bike now have changed.
Now, do you think are there any Honda car owners? Do you think listen?
I don't know. Oh, probably.
Because I bought this car for work in 2006. It was a Honda Civic. It was a later. You remember the bubble shape one?
Yeah.
When the Honda Civic went bubble shape, I thought that was really cool. I'll get one of those. Anyway, lovely digital dashboard. I had the TomTom stuck on the thing, which has the speed, the GPS speed.
Yeah.
And it was 7 miles per hour overreading at 70. So that's why Honda drivers are always so slow on the road, because they think they're doing the speed limit and they're only going 50.
So after all these years of me not effing and blinding behind the wheel saying, get out of the way, they didn't know that they're going.
But they thought they're going the speed limit. They thought they're going 60. We're actually going 50. It's Honda.
Honda monkey bike, since I've messed around with the gearing ratio, that everybody was like going, you realise you've wrecked how many miles per hour you're doing, and it's not accurate. It's like, yeah, I do know. I don't care. That was the funniest. But it's like I did it for a reason, because I'm slightly fat, so I wanted it to be able to accelerate quicker and hold it up hills. That was the reason behind it. The amount of people were like, your speedo's out. I was like, yeah, but it's over, so it doesn't matter, does it? If it says I'm doing 70, I'm only doing like 63. It doesn't matter. The moment I put it in my head, I'm doing 70 miles per hour, and I'm fat and I'm going up a hill. So it's like, it's an achievement for that. But I'll still never forget the amount of messages was like, did you know? It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
You get people telling you off like you're a child, don't you, in the messages?
Oh, yeah, you certainly do. I mean, honestly, my favourite thing about YouTube is you can delete comments. And every once in a while, no matter, and anybody that makes videos on YouTube will understand this. Every once in a while, you get a really horrible, they're basically what we call trolls, but you get a really horrible, quite personal message sometimes and all sorts of stuff. And they all write a long spiel. And you know it's taken them probably about half an hour of anger, of typing on that keyboard. And I sit there and I smile and go, delete. That's half an hour of your life you've just wasted leaving that negative comment. Bye-bye. And I actually quite like it because I get to delete it. And I know it's wasted their time. And I still will never, ever understand why you go, well, I don't like this. I'm just going to skip to the next one. I will never get that. They watch it until the end to have a rant. It's like, yeah, very special.
Like someone told me a really interesting story the other day. You've heard of these people, all these sort of, because you've got to be careful with cyber security these days, don't you?
Yeah.
Hackers, people trying to get your details. Well, a girl I know, she had someone ring her up to try and your laptop. This is the IT company from BT. We need to get on your laptop to sort your router out because your internet's a bit slow, isn't it? Can you log us on? And she knew it was a scam.
Yeah.
Anyway, she kept trying. I can't log on. Tell me what I need to do again. Tell me what. Anyway, what she thought was brilliant. She cooked a whole roast dinner for her family and then hung up at the end. Wasted 2 hours of her time. And she wasn't even looking at the computer. Whole roast dinner. Wasted this scammer's time. Absolutely brilliant.
I love to do when it was the landlines before mobile phones. If they used to ring up, didn't they? It's I'm like, can you just bear with me? I've just got something to do. I'll be back with you literally within a couple of minutes. I leave on the side, and I just like to check every 5 minutes to see how long, if they're still on the line.
You're still there. I'll be back soon.
Just see how long they wait for before they give up. It's just the best way of dealing with them because they're waiting for you. So it's like, yes. But yeah, anyway, so tomorrow, we are going to meet up. So that's obviously, we won't go into too much stuff like that, but we're going to showcase this electric bike. And I'm dead excited. I can't wait to see it. I generally can't. As you know, I'm sold on electric left, right and centre. So it's like, this is going to be fun. And then hopefully I'll pinch it off of you and take it for a ride, but you'll probably say no, but I'm sure I can try and talk you into something. But we'll get some epic footage. We're going to do a reasonable run bike as well. So we'll get a proper, hopefully drone 360, the whole works in. So I'm dead excited by that. But the whole main point of this video was, and this is going back in time a bit because of the whole thing that's, we won't bang on about the thing that we can't talk about because YouTube don't really like it, but we've not been able to do what we originally planned. So it was months ago now, but you basically contacted me and you said, do you want to come along and do Route 66? And instantly, knowing that you're obviously a very powerful man and you've got great great contacts that you do, because I mean, we've seen the bomber runs on your channel and you obviously quite clearly know many men in high places. So my vision for that is that by saying you're going to do Route 66 was that I was going to be able to ride my...
I do know the guys that collect the litter in Ely.
No, you are a very powerful man. It's clear. You drive an electric bike, a BMW GS, and you did the bomber run, and you knew lots of facts about planes and things. So quite clearly, that must make you
just being sad.
So my vision went like this. Okay, so my vision is that when you said Route 66, it's like America. I mean, it is the place of dreams and hopes and happiness. So I thought we were going to ride
Monument Valley, riding through the desert.
Exactly. And one of the reasons why I went, you know what, I'll sell the Bonneville to buy an adventure bike, because obviously you've got an adventure bike. So I was thinking, well, that's more the same thing. So my plan was that this is the vision, is that you were going to use your contacts and your power, and you were going to speak to the RAF, and they were going to sort us out a cargo plane. We were going to ride onto the back, right? The plane is going to take off. It's going to fly us all the way to Route 66. It's not even going to land. It's going to literally come down low. We're going to come off the back. Sparks are going to come out, all on camera, and then we boom, Route 66.
It's a C-130.
Sorry?
A C-130.
Is that the plane?
Yes.
Yeah, see, you've organised it. I'm dead excited to announce that. Could you imagine? I mean, it's going to be huge. So I don't know how you did it, and Paul put it together, but I'm excited. Are we going to practice riding onto it while it's going along?
James Bond's used it.
Oh, has it?
One of his films, yeah.
Did you know? Did you know James Bond is about to be replaced?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you soon.
Helmet Bond.
Helmet Bond, the 11 out of 10, the spy that always misses. So what is the plan for Route 66? Because I can't wait to see America, the lights. It'll be amazing.
I thought we'd start in California.
That sounds
quite a good spot to start, isn't it? Yeah. We'll start in the caravan, probably. There's a caravan park there.
Well, don't they call it a trailer park?
Trailer park. Trailer park.
Yeah.
We'll have a trailer. We'll start in the trailer park.
Yeah.
And then we'll work away on Route 66. We'll probably... There's a really good diner. We must stop in the diner.
Yeah.
So we'll stop in some diners.
Do they sell like the big, like, you know, because American people, like, all their food's massive. So I'm kind of expecting like 10-foot long hot.
Well, this one does bacon baps like that big.
Well, yeah, but they don't bacon over there. They have hot dogs, don't they?
Chris, you can probably get a hot dog. Yeah.
Big, like 10-foot long.
Then I thought we'd finish up in New York.
Oh wow, that's a long way.
Yeah. We'll probably pop through Boston on the way.
Are we going to stay in motels?
I thought we'd do it in one hit.
A long route.
Even though I like going a long way in the day.
Well, yeah, yeah. I've seen before when you came down to say hello, you're like, "We're going here." It's like, that's like 400 miles. It's like, you stopping for beer, pie. It's like, it's incredible.
Well, we do. You've got to stop. Actually, do they sell pork pies in the US?
Well, I say that the only person that's mentioned it is someone from Australia, and they don't do pork pies. They thought we were quite strange, and they were going to do a video about it, but I think that's coming out in the future. So I don't know, to be honest. Do they sell pucker pie?
Well, we'll get the plane. We'll get the C-130. I know a bloke I used to go to school with who works at Marshall's. Yeah. And they do the repairs on the C-130s.
Yeah.
Over at Marshall's in Cambridge. So, whatever word.
That's how you've done it.
We'll wheel the bikes in the back, when it's quiet. They just want to do a little test flight, test it out.
We're not do it when they're taken off. We can do it going on when it's moving. You know, like Night Rider, when the thing comes down at the back.
Oh, yeah.
We go on, and then when they...
There is a slight problem. There is a small problem with that.
What's that?
We could die.
11 out of 10, so it'll be all right, wouldn't it?
But if we don't, it'll be the best stunt ever.
The thing is, I said I wanted a ring of flames. It's like, we could go up in a ball of flames. It'll work, it'll be all right. It's like jumping over people. What can go wrong? Be fine.
Actually, we could go into the silent restaurant for a ring of flames. You want the ring of flames.
We just have a massive hot curry.
Yes, it's cheaper and more.
So that's definitely the plan then. We've got that, whatever you called it, big plane. We're going to go in the back. We're going to come off the back, and then we're going to be Route 66, and we're going to drive from California to New York.
Right, California, New York, via some lovely burger bars and proper drive. Yeah, those American diners, exactly. It could be a bit muddy.
Well, isn't America really hot?
Well, it depends on the weather.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true.
We'll see. We'll
cool.
see.
So we're doing that. We won't tell everyone the exact date because they might try and get on the plane with us.
Because we can't remember the dates. We were trying to check our diaries earlier. We couldn't see the dates.
No, we're both that busy. We're looking at
what date did we say?
This weekend, you're going to come to this. You're going to come to that.
Yeah, it'll be in the next couple of months. We'll have it sussed.
Do you know what I was going to ask you actually? So obviously you came along on the Helmet Head PTSD charity trip with the scooters, and it was fantastic. And obviously your world fame has shot up since then. And I sprayed you in Brute, and I gave you the Brute aftershave, and I protected you, and you protected me then by because we were only like 20 miles an hour, and you were holding off traffic, and you and Steve Bolter, and it was very emotional, and people were beeping and trying to kiss and hug me, and you were holding them back. It was very good. Have you since? Well, first of all, do you still smell a Brute? Because obviously it was very strong. And second of all, have you now, because of the fame, had to do what I have to do and get it delivered by Arctic lorry?
Well, no.
So you must have smelled of Brute from originally.
I think it wouldn't just... The problem is, if I had some Brute on, my children wouldn't come to see me anymore. I came back that evening. Oh, what the have you got on? That stinks.
It's good stuff, you know. It's very good. I'm working with Brute at the minute to make a range for women. And what it is because obviously we've got many fans of the channel. You know, I want to be able to make sure that they can come close to us without feeling physically sick. So we're kind of come up with a recipe that can kind of let them come closer without passing out or feeling physically sick. So it's costing them millions and millions and millions of pounds to come up with this. I'm hoping I'm to reveal that in their future video, and that will be the first person to ever test it.
Didn't I hear about it on the? There's some problems with the testing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know, they have to trial these things, like, you know, the vaccine trials and all that. Apparently, with this women's Brute, they trialed it and they started growing beards.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought that they just picked really, really ugly people to try it on. You were telling me that they were women.
Well, we don't know, do we? It might have been blokes dressed up.
That's what I thought they were doing when they originally did it. Okay, that makes sense. Well, it'll be all right. We'll just find out how it goes. We'll just give them a can and let them try it. The most important thing is that they want to be able to ride, and I just don't want them to feel like physically ill when they get within so many feet. So,
no, indeed,
it will have to be done. But we've got the excitement. We've got the excitement of the electric bike. I'm going to bring Betty to that because obviously you're going to have so much power. It's going to be ridiculous.
I was very disappointed that Betty was called Betty and not Jemima.
Did you put that down? Did that even get in the votes? Because there was, to be honest, there was quite a lot. So not everybody got their name in. So I did feel quite bad. But Betty, he's gone. Is he gone now?
No. I've just been demanded. This is the boss.
Hello.
This is the cat.
So if you wear Brute, then
you don't look at
that, and they'll want to leave you. They won't be massively happy. Yeah, but so yeah, we've got the electric bike thing coming up, and we've got Route 66. I think that's going to be out of this world. I think that's going to be next level.
Why did cats do that?
You'll sit there with a cat's ass in your face.
Why do they do that?
Thousands of people. This is Fen Tour's face after smelling cat bum. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment.
Oh dear.
She's not happy. She can smell the Brute.
I don't mind. As long as she's gone.
So is there anything before we disappear? Is there anything else you want to add before we I know you can smell that now. She brings now than that. Is there anything else you want to add before we disappear? You want to take a second to breathe.
As I say, it's a mobile. Oh dear.
Breathe. Yeah, that's another thing. Why are you drinking tea? And this says King on it. So Steve lent me this. So anyway, before we disappear.
Sorry.
Anything else you want to add in? Anything you want to ask?
No, I think I'm beat until tomorrow, and then we'll
We've got a
we'll
whole
be having a
week
good
now
laugh.
tomorrow, so we'll save a lot for then. So
We're gonna have to get the technology to work, so communications and all that sort
well,
of
that's
stuff.
the other thing. Senna and Cardo, they just don't.
They should work.
Yeah, they say that, but they don't like each other.
No, they don't.
They're like a married couple that have got divorced. They secretly really hate each other, so they're not going to communicate whatsoever. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll say goodbye to everyone, and thank you for watching. And looking forward to our little few videos together, and it gives some people some more excitement as well. And the other side of it is, if you've not subscribed to Fen Tour's channel, then subscribe to his channel, because he have his own version of events, and my version and other people's versions of events can always be a bit different and can always be a bit silly. So yeah, please do. And goodbye from me, and goodbye from Fen Tour.
Bye everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.